We've got alumni here, we've got the Carey family here. We just dedicated the scoreboard to Coach Don Carey, the Raider Gridiron Club. We're very honored, truly honored and blessed to be able to pull this off. Coach is more than deserving of having a board named after him. He's one of the, what they would call the 4 elite coaches. I think Irish Coleman and Ray Kipke, which the field is named after. 30 years as a coach here for Charlevoix, 1955 to 85. Basketball, football. His athletes all say that he made them the men they are today. He built character within them and brought out the best in each of them in athletics and in their personal lives. It was a total success, and we received a check this evening from the grandkids even to put towards the debt of the scoreboard. So what a great night.
I was the high school principal for 16 years during Don's tenure. It was a funny side of him. He come in my office one day and we were going to Sheboygan or somewhere, and he said, I said, "What do you think, Don?" He says, "Well, you know, winning isn't everything, it beats the hell out of losing."
I was on the 58 football squad that was undefeated on Tide and unscored upon. I played for Coach Carey. We had one game with Gaylord that was 0-0. So we put our biggest guy, Ken Wojin, in the backfield, and Ken scored 2 touchdowns, and we won the game 13-0.
We were undefeated, unscored upon, which only happened, I think, 13 times in the state of Michigan at that time. We played together as a team for about 3 years, all of us, and we hung together as teammates. We done things together, whether it was a Halloween or whatever, we stayed together as a team, and I think that was part of it.
He was a very fair man. He could be a little rough on you if you weren't doing what he wanted, but he was fair about it.
He expected you to work hard. What I learned out of that is hard work is rewarded.
I guess the thing I remember most was practice was take a lap. That's what Don used to love. But the thing is about taking those laps, we're probably the best conditioned team in the conference. And I'd say we won a lot of our games because we're a better conditioned team than the rest of the teams.
That's what Don was all about: character, integrity, and respect.
One thing that has stuck with me from 1963 on, at that time the high school football team was a little bit cocky. We had a winning streak, but at that point we were losing. We went into the locker room, which is right over there. Don Carey walked in, looked at us all, and we were sitting a little dejected. He said one thing, and it stuck with me for the rest of my life. He said, "Boys, desire and determination." And that stuck with me to this day.
He got a bunch of us boys together and he said, "Now, some of you kids that are in 8th grade are going to be going to the JV and varsity teams here in the future." He says, "Well, some of you guys, Somerville and Martin and Wagner, you might be the future stars of Charlevoix High School football." Well, I don't really think I made it to be a star, but that stuck with me. And as I grew up and graduated and went to college, and then I became a coach, I always tried to tell the young kids the same thing. So it meant a lot to me.
I was not a football player under Don. He coached me in basketball. And I watched him work for many, many years, and his command of the game, the understanding of how the game works, made him, I think, very successful.
He enjoyed what he did. Basketball, football was his love. A very respected person, a very humble person, loved his family, loved his faith.
And Coach Carey was more than a coach, he was a legend. And as a young kid, I didn't know if I wanted to be the next Timmy Carey. I didn't know if I wanted to be the next Bruce Megison or Randy Faust, but I knew I wanted to play for Coach. And I'm going into my 16th year of coaching now, and I still benefit each day by having him as being my coach.
He was a great motivator. When he had to be stern and in your face, he could do it. But he did a lot of coaching from the side angle, from the right angle. He'd say, very short, potent things that made you think. And I think that might have come from Irish Coleman, who was a peer of his as well. So I think his wit and his ability to motivate in many ways stood out with him.
We had our moments on the football field, being an offensive lineman and a defensive tackle. But it wasn't until after I graduated and had the pleasure of coming back and coaching on the staff with Hal Evans and Roger Gowan, Plas personnel, that I really understood the things that were going on and what Coach Carey was trying to instill in us as a football team and as a program. Many of the things that he instilled in us and in me, I still use today, thinking back as to the reasons why he did it. I was proud to have played for him. It kind of led me on to the career that I chose in my future.
I was part of the 1977 undefeated team. During my years of playing for Don, the one thing that I appreciated the most is he was fair, he made us work hard, and you knew that he cared about you.
Looking back at Charlevoix and the things that made Don Carey great were his tenacity. He loved the game. He surrounded himself with very good people like Hal Evans and Roger Gowan and Plas personnel, and men that we grew up with and were very committed to building character and good athletes. And I think if I can say anything for Charlevoix football in this community and Charlevoix athletics in general, I'd like to see that come back and continue. I know there's a lot of good people up here now proliferating that type of character, that type of give back, also a humility. And if anything Don did, he taught respect for others, self-respect, and family and community first. So if I can say anything, I'm going to say go Red Raiders.
Dedicating the scoreboard to him on a field that he played on and coached on. And he deserves to follow his coach, Ray Kipke. And this field's dedicated to Ray Kipke, and now the scoreboard to Don. I think it's a real honor.
If you're watching, Coach, we thank you for that.
We love you, Don. Thank you.